The little girl looks up from her robotics kit, her eyes sharp and curious. She speaks with the kind of confidence that only comes from a mind that sees patterns others miss. "You're Cassian Ward. My mom doesn't like your interviews. But I do." The man standing in the doorway of the rural clinic freezes. His heart stops. Not because of what she said. Because of her face. The jawline. The way her brow furrows when she concentrates. He knows that face. He sees it in the mirror every morning. His voice comes out barely above a whisper. "What's your name?" "Nova. Nova Rowan." Rowan. The name hits him like a fist to the chest. Rowan. The surname of the woman who saved his life. The woman who disappeared 10 years ago. The woman he never stopped searching for. He kneels down slowly, his hands shaking. "Nova, where is your mother?" "She's in the back office." "Do you want me to get her?" Before he can answer, a voice cuts through the air. A voice he has not heard in a decade. A voice that has lived in his dreams and his nightmares every single night since she left. "Nova, sweetheart, come help me with these files." The woman steps into the hallway. She is older now. Her hair longer. Her face carries the weight of years he was not part of. But it is her. Leila. The moment their eyes meet, the world stops. The folder in her hand slips. Papers scatter across the floor. Her breath catches. Her lips part. Tears fill her eyes faster than she can blink them away. She whispers his name like a prayer she thought would never be answered. Cassian. He stands. His legs feel weak. His throat tight. "You saved my life. And you gave me another without telling me." Nova looks between them, confused. Leila's hands tremble. She opens her mouth but no words come. Just a decade of silence. A decade of secrets. A decade of raising their daughter alone. Cassian looks at Nova. Then back at Leila. Then at Nova again. The truth is written in every line of the child's face. His voice cracks. "She's mine, isn't she?" Leila closes her eyes. A single tear slides down her cheek. "Yes." Have you ever loved someone so much you gave them a part of yourself to keep them alive? Have you ever walked away from that same person because staying hurt too much? This is the story of a woman who donated her kidney to the man she loved, disappeared while carrying his child, and spent 10 years hoping he would never find her. And the story of a man who built an empire on borrowed time, searching every corner of the world for the woman who saved him. Until one day, in a small rural clinic, he found her. And discovered the daughter he never knew existed. Stay until the end to hear the words Leila has been holding back for 10 years. And to see what happens when love gets a second chance it never thought it deserved. If you believe some love stories don't end, they just wait, hit that like button right now. And subscribe to Mr. Ellington Love Lines, where every heartbreak finds its way home. Let me take you back. Not to the reunion. Not yet. Let me show you the beginning. Before the billions. Before the empire. Before the loss. Back to when Cassian Ward was just a man fighting to survive one more week. Before the billions, he was a man fighting for his life. The dialysis machine hums in the corner. It is a sound Cassian Ward has learned to hate. 3 times a week. 4 hours each session. Hooked to a machine that does the job his kidneys can no longer do. He is 27 years old. He should be building a career. Building a life. Instead, he is watching his body shut down one system at a time. The doctors told him 2 years ago. Genetic kidney disease. Progressive. Irreversible. The transplant list is long. His blood type is rare. His chances are slim. He tries not to think about it. Tries to focus on the work he can still do. Coding contracts for tech startups. Freelance engineering projects. Anything to keep his mind sharp while his body fails. But tonight, the exhaustion is winning. A nurse enters the room. She moves quietly, efficiently. She checks his vitals without speaking. Most of the staff here have learned not to ask how he is feeling. The answer is always the same. But this nurse is new. She glances at his chart, then at him. Cassian Ward? He nods. She tilts her head slightly, studying him. You're the one who designed that water filtration prototype for the refugee camps. He blinks, surprised. You know about that? She smiles. It is a small smile, but it is genuine. I read about it in a journal. It was brilliant. Simple but effective. Saved a lot of lives. He looks at her more carefully now. She is young, maybe his age. Dark hair pulled back. Tired eyes that still manage to be kind. Thank you. I'm Leila, by the way. I'll be on your rotation for the next few months. He tries to smile back, but the fatigue pulls at him. Nice to meet you, Leila. Sorry you got stuck with the depressing cases. She does not laugh. She just looks at him with a steady, unshakable calm. You're not depressing. You're just tired. There's a difference. Something about the way she says it makes him believe her. Over the next few weeks, Leila becomes the only part of dialysis he does not dread. She talks to him. Not about his illness. Not about his prognosis. She talks about books. About terrible hospital coffee. About the stray cat that lives behind the clinic and refuses to trust anyone. He talks too. About his designs. About the projects he wishes he had the energy to finish. About the life he thought he would have before his body betrayed him. One night, after a particularly brutal session, she sits beside him while he recovers. You ever think about what you'd do if you had more time? He laughs bitterly. I try not to. Makes it worse. She does not push. She just sits with him in the silence. Then, quietly, she says something that stays with him. Time isn't something you get. It's something you make matter. He looks at her. You really believe that? She nods. I have to. It is the first time he wonders if she is carrying something heavy too. 3 months later, his condition worsens. The hospital calls him in for an emergency meeting. His nephrologist does not waste time. Cassian, your kidney function has dropped to 8%. We need to move you to the top of the transplant list. But I have to be honest with you. Your blood type and tissue compatibility make finding a match extremely difficult. He hears the unspoken part. You may not survive the wait. He leaves the hospital in a daze. He did not go home. He walks. 4 hours. Until his legs ache and the city blurs around him. When he finally stops, he sat on a bench outside the clinic. It is late. The lights are dim. Leila finds him there. She did not ask what happened. She just sits beside him. After a long silence, he speaks. They told me I'm running out of time. She did not say it will be okay. She did not offer empty hope. She just takes his hand. Then we make the time you have count. He looks at her. Really looks at her. And he realizes something that terrifies him. He is falling in love with her. And he does not have enough time to do anything about it. But Leila, it turns out, has already decided something he does not know yet. She has already started the testing. The sacrifice he never asked for. 2 weeks later, Leila walks into the dialysis unit and sits across from Cassian. Her face is calm, but there is something in her eyes. Something determined. I need to tell you something. He sets down the book he was pretending to read. Okay. She takes a breath. I got tested. He frowns, confused. Tested for what? She looks at him directly. To see if I could be your donor. The air leaves his lungs. Leila, no. No. You didn't. I did. And I'm a match. He stands up so fast the foreline tugs painfully. You can't do this. I already did. Cassian, you can't give me your kidney. She stands too, her voice steady but her hands shaking. I can. And I will. The surgery is scheduled for next month. He stares at her, his mind racing, his heart breaking. Why would you do this? Because you matter. Because the world needs what you can build. Because I. She stops. Swallows. Starts again. Because I can't watch you die when I have the power to stop it. Cassian's eyes fill with tears. Leila, I can't let you risk your life for mine. She steps closer. You're not letting me. I'm choosing. There's a difference. He shakes his head, desperate. What if something goes wrong? What if you don't recover? What if? She takes his face in her hands. Then I'll have spent my life doing something that mattered. He breaks. Pulls her into his arms. Holds her like she is the only thing keeping him alive. Which, in a few weeks, she will be. I don't deserve you. She whispers into his shoulder. You don't get to decide that. The surgery is scheduled. The weeks leading up to it are a blur of tests, consultations, and sleepless nights. Cassian tries to talk her out of it a dozen times. She refuses every time. The night before the surgery, they sit together in her apartment. Neither of them can sleep. Are you scared? She looks at him. Terrified. He reaches for her hand. We can still stop this. She squeezes his hand. No. We can't. He pulls her closer. She rests her head on his chest. Leila. Yeah. I love you. She closes her eyes. Tears slip silently down her face. I love you too. The surgery took 8 hours. Cassian wakes up first. Groggy. Disoriented. But alive. The transplant was successful. The kidney is functioning. He is going to live. The first thing he asks is about Leila. The nurse smiles. She's in recovery. Stable. You'll see her soon. But soon is not soon enough. When they finally will him into her room, she is awake. Pale. Exhausted. But smiling. He reaches for her hand. You saved my life. She squeezes weakly. Good. Now go do something with it. He laughs through tears. I will. I promise. But recovery is harder than either of them expected. Cassian heals quickly. Within weeks, he is stronger than he has been in years. His energy returns. His clarity returns. Opportunities he thought were lost forever suddenly reopen. A tech firm offers him a position. Then another. Then venture capitalists start calling. But Leila's recovery is slow. She develops complications. Fatigue. Pain. Emotional exhaustion that she hides behind calm smiles. Cassian tries to be there. But he is also trying to rebuild his career. Trying to prove that her sacrifice was not wasted. The balance becomes impossible. One night, 3 months after the surgery, they have the fight that breaks everything. The cruel night that broke everything. Cassian comes home late. Again. Leila is sitting on the couch, staring at nothing. I'm sorry. The meeting ran long. She did not look at him. They always do. He sets his bag down, frustration creeping into his voice. Leila, I'm trying to build something here. I'm trying to make sure your sacrifice meant something. She finally looks at him. Her eyes are empty. My sacrifice already meant something. It meant you lived. That was enough. Then what do you want from me? She stands, her voice shaking. I want you to see me. I want you to remember that I'm still here. That I'm still recovering. That I gave you part of my body and I'm still trying to figure out how to live with what's left. His anger flares, irrational and cruel. Maybe you regret it. The words hang in the air like poison. Leila stares at him. Her face goes pale. Her breath stops. What did you just say? He knows he should take it back. He knows he has just said the most unforgivable thing possible. But pride and exhaustion make him double down. Maybe you regret saving me. Maybe that's why you're so angry all the time. Leila's eyes fill with tears. But she did not cry. She just looks at him like she is seeing a stranger. I gave you my kidney, Cassian. I gave you my body. My health. My future. And you think I regret it? Her voice breaks. I don't regret saving you. I regret thinking you'd know what to do with the life I gave you. She walks into the bedroom. He hears drawers opening. Closing. When she comes back out, she is carrying a small bag. Where are you going? Somewhere you won't have to wonder if I regret you. Leila, wait. She walks to the door. Stops. Turns back. I hope you build something incredible, Cassian. I hope every year you live is worth the one I gave you. She left. He did not follow. He tells himself she will come back. That she just needs space. That tomorrow, they will talk and fix this. But tomorrow, she is gone. And the day after that. And the day after that. He searched. He called hospitals. Shelters. Mutual friends. He files a missing person report. He hires investigators. But Leila Rowan has vanished. And what Cassian does not know, what he will not know for 10 years, is that when she left, she was already carrying his child. 10 years later. The man she saved became a legend. Cassian Ward stands on a stage in front of 2,000 people. The applause is deafening. He has just been named Innovator of the Year. His AI security platform is used by governments, hospitals, airports. His company is valued at $8 billion. He smiles. He thanks the audience. He gives a polished speech about perseverance and vision. But when he steps off the stage, the smile disappears. His assistant hands him his phone. You have 3 interview requests and a dinner with the board tonight. Cancel the dinner. Sir. Cancel it. He goes back to his penthouse. Pours a drink. Sits by the window overlooking the city he has conquered. And he thinks about her. Every success feels hollow. Every award feels like a reminder. He built an empire. But he lost the person who made him want to build it. He never stopped looking. Every hospital he donates equipment to, he searches the staff directories. Every clinic he funds, he visits unannounced, hoping to see her name on a door. But Leila Rowan is a ghost. On the 10th anniversary of the transplant, Cassian's foundation opens a new rural health clinic. It is a small facility. Modest. The kind of place that serves communities others forget. He decides to visit. No press. No entourage. Just him. He walks through the halls. Shakes hands with the staff. Listens to the director talk about patient care and community outreach. And then he walks past the pediatric ward. A little girl sits at a table, surrounded by wires and circuit boards. She is building something. A small robot, it looks like. One of the doctors stands nearby, looking confused. I don't understand how you made it respond to voice commands. The girl looks up, patient and a little amused. It's just a feedback loop. The microphone picks up sound waves, converts them to data, and the processor matches the pattern to pre-programmed responses. It's not that complicated. The doctor laughs. Maybe not for you. Cassian stops walking. The girl is about 9. Dark hair. Bright eyes. And a face that makes his heart stop. She looks exactly like him. He steps closer, his voice barely steady. That's impressive work. The girl looks up. Her eyes widen slightly. You're Cassian Ward. He nods, his throat tight. I am. She grins. My mom doesn't like your interviews. She says you talk too much about yourself. But I think your neural network design is really cool. He almost laughs. Almost. What's your name? Nova. Nova Rowan. Rowan. The world tilts. He kneels down slowly, his hands shaking. Where's your mom, Nova? She points down the hall. In the office. Do you want me to call her? He cannot speak. He just nods. Nova hops off her chair and walks toward a small office at the end of the hall. Cassian follows, his heartbeat so loud he can barely hear anything else. Nova pushes the door open. Mom, someone's here to see you. A woman stands with her back to the door, sorting files. Who is it, sweetheart? She turns. And Cassian's world stops. Leila. Older. Tired. Beautiful. The folder in her hand slips from her fingers. Papers scatter across the floor. Her eyes meet his. For 10 years, he has imagined this moment. What he would say. What she would say. But now, standing 3 feet away from the woman he never stopped loving, all he can do is whisper her name. Leila. Her lips tremble. Tears fill her eyes. Cassian. Nova looks between them, confused. Do you two know each other? Cassian did not look away from Leila. Yes. We do. Leila's breath is shaking. She grips the edge of the desk like it is the only thing keeping her upright. What are you doing here? I came to see the clinic. His eyes drop to Nova, then back to Leila. But I found something I stopped believing I'd ever find. Leila's tears spill over. Cassian. He takes a step closer. She's mine, isn't she? Leila closes her eyes. A sob breaks through. Yes. Quick question. If someone gave you a second chance at the love you thought you lost forever, would you take it? Even if 10 years and a lifetime of pain stood between you? Drop your answer in the comments. And if this story is hitting you where it hurts, share it with someone who believes in love that doesn't quit. Nova stood frozen, looking between them. Cassian kneels in front of her, his voice breaking. Nova, I'm your father. The little girl blinks. Her face is unreadable. You're my dad. Yes. She looks at Leila. Mom. Leila nods, tears streaming down her face. Yes, baby. He is. Nova looks back at Cassian. Studies his face. Then, in the most painfully honest voice, she asks the question that breaks him. Why weren't you here? Cassian's chest caves in. Because I didn't know. I didn't know you existed. And if I had, I would have been here every single day. Nova's eyes fill with tears. Really? Really? She steps forward. Slowly. Then wraps her small arms around his neck. Cassian holds her, and for the first time in 10 years, he lets himself cry. Leila watched, her hand covering her mouth, her body shaking with sobs she has held back for a decade. When Nova finally pulls back, she looks at him seriously. Are you going to leave again? Cassian shakes his head. Never. Promise? I promise. Nova nods. Then she looks at Leila. Can we keep him? Leila laughs through her tears. Yeah, baby. We can keep him. Later that night, after Nova falls asleep on the clinic couch, Cassian and Leila sit outside under the stars. For a long time, neither of them speaks. Then Leila breaks the silence. I'm sorry. Cassian turns to her. For what? For disappearing. For not telling you. For letting you think I was gone. He shakes his head. Leila, I said something unforgivable. I accused you of regretting the most selfless thing anyone has ever done for me. She looks down. I was pregnant when I left. He closes his eyes. I didn't want you to feel trapped. I didn't want you to stay out of obligation. Leila, I loved you. She looks at him, her voice breaking. I know. But I didn't love myself enough to believe it. He reaches for her hand. She lets him take it. I searched for you. For years. I know. I saw your name in the news. Saw your face on magazine covers. I was so proud of you. Her voice cracked. But I was terrified too. Terrified you'd find me. Terrified you wouldn't. He squeezed her hand. I never stopped looking. And I never stopped loving you. She exhales shakily. I never stopped either. They sat in the quiet. Two people who loved each other, lost each other, and found each other again in the last place either expected. Cassian speaks softly. Let me make this right. Not with money. Not with apologies. But with time. With years. With showing up every single day for you and for Nova. Leila looks at him, tears slipping silently down her face. You really mean that? I've never meant anything more. She nodded slowly. Okay. Okay. She smiles through her tears. Yeah. Okay. He pulls her into his arms. She buries her face in his chest. And for the first time in 10 years, she lets herself believe that maybe, just maybe, love does not always end in loss. Maybe sometimes, it just waits. The future that reopened for all three of them. The next morning, Nova wakes up and finds Cassian sitting in the clinic waiting room. You stayed. He looks up and smiles. I told you I would. She grins and runs over, climbing into the chair next to him. Are you going to live with us now? Cassian glances at Leila, who is leaning against the doorway, watching them. If your mom says it's okay. Leila smiles softly. We'll figure it out. Nova looks at Cassian seriously. Do you know how to make pancakes? He laughs. I can learn. Good. Because mom's pancakes are terrible. Leila gasps in mock offense. Excuse me? Nova giggles. It's true. Cassian reaches over and ruffles her hair. Then I guess I better get good at it fast. Over the next few weeks, Cassian restructures his life. He steps back from daily operations at his company. He moves his schedule to spend 3 days a week at the clinic. He rents a small house nearby. And slowly, carefully, he begins to build a relationship with his daughter. At first, Nova is cautious. She tests him. Asks him questions. Watches to see if he will keep his promises. He does. Every time. He shows up to her robotics club meetings. He helps her with her science projects. He learns her favorite books, her favorite foods, the way she hums when she is concentrating. And he falls in love with her the way he fell in love with Leila. Quietly. Completely. Irrevocably. One evening, Nova looks up from her homework. Dad? It is the first time she has called him that without hesitation. Cassian's heart stops. Yeah. Do you ever wish things were different? Like, that you knew about me from the beginning? He sets down the book he was reading and kneels beside her. Every single day. But I can't change the past. All I can do is make sure I don't waste the future. She nods slowly. I'm glad you found us. He pulls her into a hug. Me too, sweetheart. Me too. Leila watches from the kitchen. Tears slip down her face, but this time, they are not born from pain. They are born from something she thought she had lost forever. Hope. That night, after Nova is asleep, Leila and Cassian sat on the porch. She's amazing. Cassian smiles. She gets that from you. Leila shakes her head. She gets her brilliance from you. Her stubbornness too. He laughs. Guilty. They sat in comfortable silence. Then Cassian speaks. I know we can't just pick up where we left off. I know there's a lot of hurt. A lot of time we can't get back. Leila nods. Yeah. There is. But I want to try. If you'll let me. She looks at him. I want to try too. But slowly. For Nova's sake. And for ours. He reaches for her hand. Slow is good. I've waited 10 years. I can wait as long as it takes. She smiles. You've changed. He meets her eyes. You changed me. Twice. 6 months later, Cassian's company announces a major donation to rural healthcare. 50 clinics. Fully funded. Built in underserved communities across the country. At the press conference, a reporter asks him why he is shifting focus. Cassian looks directly into the camera. Because 10 years ago, someone saved my life. And I spent the last decade trying to prove I deserved it. But I was looking in the wrong places. The life worth living isn't the one you build for yourself. It's the one you build for the people who gave you the chance to live it. The room is silent. He continues. I found my family. And now I want to make sure other people don't lose theirs because they couldn't access care. The applause is thunderous. But Cassian did not hear it. Because in the back of the room, Leila is standing with Nova. And they are both smiling. That night, they sat together under the stars. The three of them. A family that was broken, scattered, and lost. And somehow, against all odds, found again. Nova leans against Cassian. Dad? Yeah. Do you think we were always supposed to find each other? Cassian looks at Leila. She looks back. He smiles. Yeah, sweetheart. I think we were. And for the first time in 10 years, Cassian Ward feels something he thought he had lost forever. Whole. Not because of the money. Not because of the success. Not because of the empire. But because of the two people sitting beside him. The woman who saved his life. And the daughter who gave it meaning. 1 year later, the small house near the clinic has become a home. Cassian sat at the kitchen table, helping Nova with her advanced physics homework. Leila is at the counter, chopping vegetables for dinner. This is a scene that should feel ordinary. Domestic. Simple. But for Cassian, every moment still feels like a gift he does not deserve. Nova looks up from her textbook. Dad, can I ask you something? Of course. She hesitates. Do you ever get scared that this will go away? That one day you'll wake up and we won't be here? Cassian sets down his pen. He looks at his daughter, this brilliant, perceptive child who sees too much. Sometimes. But then I remember that fear is just a reminder of how much something matters. Nova nods slowly. I get scared too. That you'll go back to your old life and forget about us. Leila turns from the counter, concern on her face. Cassian reaches for Nova's hand. Nova, I need you to hear me. I'm not going anywhere. Not now. Not ever. This is my life. You and your mom. This is what matters. Nova's eyes fill with tears. Promise? I promise. She nods. Wipes her eyes. Then goes back to her homework like the moment never happened. But Cassian sees the way her shoulders relax. The way her breathing evens out. Trust, he is learning, is not given once. It is earned in 1,000 small moments. Later that night, after Nova is asleep, Leila finds Cassian sitting on the porch. She sits beside him. She's testing you. I know. It's not personal. I know that too. Leila sighs. She's spent 9 years watching other kids have fathers. Birthday parties. School events. She was always the one whose dad wasn't there. Cassian's jaw tightens. I hate that I wasn't. Leila touches his arm gently. You're here now. That's what matters. He looks at her. Is it enough? She smiles softly. Ask me again in 20 years. He laughs quietly. Deal. They sit in silence for a moment. Then Leila speaks again, her voice careful. Cassian, I need to tell you something. He turns to her, concerned. What is it? I've been offered a position. Director of nursing at a hospital in the city. It's a big opportunity. Better pay. Better benefits. She pauses. But it would mean moving. Leaving the clinic. Leaving here. Cassian processes this. What do you want to do? I don't know. Part of me wants to stay. This place is safe. Nova is happy here. And the other part? The other part is terrified that I'm holding her back. That she deserves more opportunities than a small rural town can give her. Cassian nods slowly. What does Nova think? I haven't told her yet. Why not? Because I wanted to talk to you first. He looks at her, surprised. You're asking my opinion. You're her father. And you're. She trails off. I'm what? She looks at him. You're part of this family. Your voice matters. Something shifts in Cassian's chest. For a year, he has been trying to earn his place. Trying to prove he deserves to be here. But this is the first time Leila has said it out loud. You're part of this family. He takes her hand. Whatever you decide, I'm with you. If you want to take the job, we'll make it work. If you want to stay, we'll make that work too. She squeezes his hand. Thank you. But there's something else, isn't there? She hesitates. Then nods. I'm scared. Of what? Of moving back to the city. Of being close to your world. Of Nova seeing the life you have and realizing how different we are. Cassian shakes his head. Leila, I don't have two worlds. I have one. And it's here. With you. With Nova. She looks at him, searching his face. You really mean that? It is not a question. Every word. She exhales slowly. Okay. Then I'll think about it. Take your time. Whatever you decide, we'll figure it out together. She leans her head on his shoulder. I'm still getting used to that. To what? To not doing everything alone. He kisses the top of her head. You're not alone anymore. 2 weeks later, Leila accepted the position. The move happens quickly. Cassian helps them find an apartment in a quiet neighborhood near the hospital. Good schools. Safe streets. Close to his office but far enough from the spotlight. Nova is nervous but excited. She has lived in the same small town her entire life. The city is a new world. On her first day at her new school, Cassian drove her. She sat in the passenger seat, quiet. "You okay?" She nods. But her hands are clenched in her lap. He pulls over. "Nova, look at me." She turns. "You're going to walk in there, and some kids are going to know who I am. Some of them are going to treat you differently because of it." Her face tightens. "I know. But I need you to remember something. You're not my accessory. You're not my legacy. You're Nova Rowan. You're brilliant and kind and stronger than anyone I've ever met. And anyone who can't see that isn't worth your time." She blinked rapidly, fighting tears. "What if they don't like me? Then they're idiots." She laughs, a small, watery sound. He reaches over and squeezes her hand. "I'm so proud of you." She nods. "Okay. I'm ready." He drove her to the front of the school. She gets out. Takes a deep breath. And walks through the doors. Cassian watches until she disappears inside. Then he sat in the car and prays to a God he is not sure he believes in that the world will be kind to his daughter. That night, Nova came home exhausted but smiling. Leila looks up from her laptop. "How was it?" Nova drops her backpack. "Weird. Hard. But okay." She looks at Cassian. "3 people asked if you were really my dad." He winces. "What did you say?" "That you are. And that you're not as cool as the internet thinks." Cassian laughs. "Fair." Nova grins. But one girl, Maya, she didn't care about any of that. She just wanted to talk about the robotics club. "We're going to try out together." Leila smiles. "That's great, honey." Nova nods, then heads to her room. When she is gone, Leila looks at Cassian. "She's going to be okay." He nods. "Yeah. She is." But 3 months later, everything changed. Nova came home from school and went straight to her room without saying hello. Leila and Cassian exchange a look. Leila knocks softly on Nova's door. "Sweetheart?" No answer. Leila pushes the door open. Nova is sitting on her bed, her face red and tear-streaked. Leila sits beside her. "What happened?" Nova shakes her head. "Baby, talk to me." Nova's voice breaks. "They found out." Leila's stomach drops. "Found out what?" "About you. About the kidney. About how you and Dad met." Leila closes her eyes. "Who told them?" "I don't know. But now everyone's talking about it. They're saying Dad only came back because he felt guilty. That we're a charity case." Leila pulls Nova into her arms. "That's not true." Nova sobs into her shoulder. "Then why does it feel true?" Cassian appears in the doorway. He heard everything. He walks over and kneels in front of Nova. "Nova, look at me." She lifts her tear-streaked face. "I didn't come back because of guilt. I came back because I found you. And finding you was the best thing that ever happened to me. But Mom gave you her kidney. You owe her. I owe your mother my life. But I don't love her because I owe her. I love her because she's the only person who ever saw me when I had nothing to offer." He took Nova's hands. "And I don't love you because you're my responsibility. I love you because you're my daughter. Because you're smart and funny and brave. Because you make me want to be better." Nova's lip trembles. "What if people always think we're just your good deed?" Then let them. Because we know the truth. And the truth is that you and your mom saved me. Not the other way around. Nova cries harder. Cassian pulls her into his arms. Leila watches, her own tears falling silently. Later that night, after Nova finally fell asleep, Leila and Cassian sat in the living room. Leila is angry in a way Cassian has never seen. I knew this would happen. I knew the moment we stepped into your world, people would make us a story. Cassian runs a hand through his hair. I'm sorry. Sorry doesn't fix this. I know. She stands, pacing. She's 12, Cassian. She shouldn't have to defend her existence. She shouldn't have to prove that her father loves her. You're right. Leila stops, looking at him. So what are we going to do? He stands. We fight back. How? By telling the truth. Our way. Before someone else twists it. She stares at him. You want to go public? I want to stop hiding. I want people to know that you're not a charity case. That Nova is not a PR move. That this family is real. Leila shakes her head. I don't want to be in the spotlight. You won't be. I'll handle it. Cassian. Leila, please. Let me protect you. Let me protect her. She looks at him for a long time. Then, finally, she nods. Okay. But we do this together. Together. If you've ever had to defend the people you love against a world that wants to define them, drop a comment and tell me how you did it. And if this story is reminding you why truth matters more than perception, hit that subscribe button. Because we're just getting to the part where love fights back. 1 week later, Cassian sat down for an interview. Not with a major network. Not with a celebrity journalist. With a small independent podcast known for honest, human storytelling. The host is a woman named Simone. She is direct but kind. Cassian, thank you for being here. Thank you for having me. Let's just get into it. There's been a lot of speculation about your personal life. About a woman named Leila Rowan and a daughter people didn't know you had. Cassian nods. Yes. People are saying she was your nurse. That she gave you a kidney. That you disappeared from her life and then came back years later. Is that true? It's partially true. And I'm here to tell you the rest. He takes a breath. 13 years ago, I was dying. Kidney failure. I was on dialysis, waiting for a transplant I wasn't sure I'd live long enough to receive. Leila was my nurse. We fell in love. And when she found out she was a match, she insisted on being my donor. Simone leans forward. That's an extraordinary gift. It's the reason I'm alive. So what happened? I recovered. She didn't. Not as quickly. And instead of supporting her the way she supported me, I got caught up in my career. I said something unforgivable. And she left. What did you say? Cassian's voice cracks. I asked if she regretted saving me. Simone's expression softens. And did she? No. But I made her feel like her sacrifice didn't matter. And that's something I'll regret for the rest of my life. He pauses. What I didn't know was that when she left, she was pregnant. She raised our daughter, Nova, alone for 9 years. And I had no idea. How did you find out? By accident. I was visiting a clinic my foundation funded. I saw a little girl who looked exactly like me. And when I asked her name, she said Nova Rowan. What did you do? I asked to see her mother. And when Leila walked into that room, my entire world stopped. Simone is silent for a moment. What did Leila say? She told me the truth. That Nova was mine. That she didn't tell me because she didn't want me to feel obligated. And how did that make you feel? Like I'd lost 10 years I can never get back. But also like I'd been given a second chance I didn't deserve. Do you think you deserved it? Cassian shakes his head. No. But I'm not going to waste it. Tell me about Nova. Cassian's face softens. She's the smartest, funniest, most incredible person I've ever met. She's kind. She's curious. She's everything I didn't know I needed. His voice breaks. And she's been hurt because of me. Because people found out about her and decided to turn our story into gossip. Is that why you're doing this interview? Yes. I want people to know the truth. That Leila is not a charity case. That Nova is not a PR stunt. That we are a family. Complicated. Messy. But real. Simone nods. What do you want people to take away from this? Cassian looks directly into the camera. That some love stories don't have neat endings. That some families are built from broken pieces. And that the people who save your life don't owe you anything. But if you're lucky enough to get a second chance, you show up. Every single day. Not because you have to. But because you finally understand what it means to be loved. The interview went viral. Within hours, it has millions of views. The comments are overwhelming. Supportive. Angry. Emotional. But the one that matters most is the text Cassian receives from Nova. Thanks, Dad. I needed people to hear that. He texted back immediately. I meant every word. She replies. I know. That night, Leila came home from the hospital and finds Cassian sitting in the dark. She sat beside him. I saw the interview. And you were brave. He shakes his head. I should have done it sooner. She took his hand. You did it when it mattered. He looked at her. Are you angry? No. I'm proud. He exhales, relief flooding through him. I was so scared you'd think I overstepped. She smiled. You protected our daughter. That's all that matters. They sat in the quiet. Then Leila speaks again. Cassian, I need to tell you something. His chest tightens. Okay. I've been holding back. From you. From us. Because I was scared that if I let myself love you again, you'd leave. Leila. But watching you with Nova. Watching you fight for her. For us. I realized something. What? That I never stopped loving you. And I don't want to keep pretending I did. Cassian's breath catches. What are you saying? She turns to face him fully. I'm saying I want to try. Not slow. Not careful. I want to build a life with you. For real this time. He cupped her face in his hands. Are you sure? She nodded, tears streaming down her face. I've never been surer of anything. He kissed her. Softly at first. Then deeper. 13 years of longing and regret and love pouring into a single moment. When they pulled apart, they were both crying. I love you, Leila. I love you too. They hold each other in the dark. Two people who gave each other life. Who lost each other. Who found each other again. And this time, they are not letting go. 6 months later, Cassian proposes. Not at a fancy restaurant. Not with cameras. Not with a grand gesture. He proposed in their kitchen. On a Tuesday night. While Leila is washing dishes and Nova is doing homework at the table. He just walked up behind Leila, wraps his arms around her, and whispered. Marry me. She froze. What? Marry me. Not because I owe you. Not because of Nova. but because I want to spend every day of the rest of my life proving that I know how lucky I am. Leila turns, her hands still wet with soap. Cassian. I don't have a ring yet. I didn't plan this. But I can't wait another second. Nova looks up from her homework, eyes wide. Leila looks at him, tears already falling. Yes. He blinked. Yes. Yes. Yes, I'll marry you. He picked her up and spins her around. She laughed, a sound so full of joy it fills the entire house. Nova jumps up. Does this mean we're a real family now? Cassian sets Leila down and pulls Nova into the hug. We've always been a real family, sweetheart. This just makes it official. Nova grinned. Good. Because I already told Maya you were my dad. It would be weird if you weren't. They all laughed. And in that small kitchen, in that ordinary moment, something extraordinary happens. A family that was shattered is whole again. The wedding was small. Intimate. Just close friends and family. Leila wore a simple white dress. Cassian wore a suit he bought the day before. Nova is the maid of honor. They exchange vows under a tree in the backyard of the house they now share. Cassian goes first. Leila, 13 years ago, you gave me life. Today, you give me a reason to live it. I promise to show up. To fight for us. To love you and Nova with everything I have. Not because I owe you. But because you are my home. Leila's voice shakes as she speaks. Cassian, you taught me that love is not about perfection. It's about presence. I promise to build this life with you. To trust you. To let you carry some of the weight I've carried alone. And to remind you, every single day, that you are enough. They exchange rings. The officiant smiled. By the power vested in me, I now pronounce you husband and wife. You may kiss your bride. Cassian pulled Leila into his arms and kissed her as their small group of loved ones cheers. Nova clapped the loudest. Later, at the reception, Nova gave a toast. She stood, nervous but determined. I'm not good at speeches. But I wanted to say something. The room quieted. For most of my life, I didn't have a dad. And I told myself that was okay. That I didn't need one. She looks at Cassian. But then you showed up. And you didn't just show up once. You kept showing up. Even when I didn't make it easy. Cassian's eyes fill with tears. You taught me that family isn't about being perfect. It's about not giving up. She raises her glass. So here's to my mom and dad. The two people who prove that love is stronger than time. Everyone raises their glasses. To love. The room echoes. To love. Cassian pulls Nova into a hug, and Leila joins them, and for a moment, the three of them stand together, whole and unbreakable. 2 years later, Cassian sits in his office. He is reviewing a proposal when his assistant buzzes in. Mr. Ward, there's someone here to see you. Who? She says her name is Dr. Patel. She worked at the hospital where you had your transplant. Cassian's chest tightens. Send her in. An older woman enters. She is in her 60s, gray hair, kind eyes. Mr. Ward, thank you for seeing me. Of course. What can I do for you? She sat. I'm writing a case study on long-term transplant outcomes. Your case is one of the most remarkable I've encountered. Not just medically, but personally. He nods slowly. I wanted to ask if you'd be willing to participate. To share your story. It could help a lot of people. Cassian thought for a moment. Only if Leila agrees. Dr. Patel smiles. I was hoping you'd say that. A few weeks later, Cassian and Leila sat together in a medical conference room. They are being interviewed by Dr. Patel and a team of researchers. Leila, what made you decide to donate? Leila glances at Cassian. I loved him. And I couldn't imagine a world without him in it. Did you ever regret it? Never. Not even in the hardest moments. Dr. Patel looks at Cassian. And you, Mr. Ward? How has the transplant shaped your life? Cassian took Leila's hand. It gave me everything. My career. My family. My future. But more than that, it taught me what it means to receive grace. To be loved when you have nothing to offer in return. He looked at Leila. She saved my life twice. Once with her kidney. And once by forgiving me when I didn't deserve it. Dr. Patel makes a note. That's a powerful testimony. Cassian nods. I just hope it helps someone else understand that the greatest gifts are the ones you can never repay. You can only honor them. The interview was published in a major medical journal. It was picked up by media outlets around the world. And once again, Cassian and Leila's story became public. But this time, it is different. This time, they are telling it together. If you know someone who gave you a second chance, tag them in the comments. Tell them thank you. Tell them they mattered. And if this story reminded you that love is the most powerful medicine, share it with someone who needs to hear it. 5 years after the wedding, Nova is 17. She was sitting at the kitchen table, surrounded by college brochures. Cassian walks in. How's it going? She sighs. I don't know. There are so many options. He sat beside her. What are you looking for? She looked up. I want to study biomedical engineering. I want to design better transplant technologies. So that other kids don't have to grow up the way I did. Cassian's throat tightens. Nova, that's incredible. She looks down. I just keep thinking about you and Mom. About how lucky you were that she was a match. But so many people aren't that lucky. He reached over and took her hand. You're going to change that. You think so? I know so. She smiles. Thanks, Dad. He squeezed her hand. I'm so proud of you. Later that night, he told Leila what Nova said. She's going to save lives. Just like you did. Leila's eyes filled with tears. She's going to be better than both of us. Cassian pulls her close. She already is. On Nova's 18th birthday, Cassian and Leila give her a gift. It is a small box, wrapped simply. Nova opens it. Inside is a letter. She unfolds it carefully. It is written in Leila's handwriting. My dearest Nova. 18 years ago, I made a choice. I chose to bring you into this world, even though I didn't know what the future held. Even though I was scared. It was the best decision I ever made. You are strong, brilliant, compassionate, and brave. You are everything I hoped you would be and so much more. Your father and I are so proud of the woman you've become. But more than that, we are grateful. Grateful that we get to be your parents. Grateful that we get to watch you change the world. Happy birthday, my love. Mom beneath it, in Cassian's handwriting. Nova. You are the greatest gift I never knew I needed. Thank you for letting me be your dad. Thank you for teaching me what it means to show up. I can't wait to see what you do next. Love. Dad. Nova was crying by the time she finished reading. She stood and wraps her arms around both of them. I love you. We love you too. They stood together, the three of them, a family forged from sacrifice and loss and love that refused to quit. 7 years after Cassian found Leila and Nova, he stood on a stage once again. But this time, he is not accepting an award. He is introducing someone else. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to introduce the recipient of this year's Humanitarian Innovation Award. A young woman who has designed a portable, affordable kidney dialysis system that is being used in underserved communities around the world. He paused, his voice thick with emotion. She is also my daughter. Leila Rowan Ward. The audience erupts in applause. Nova walked onto the stage. She is 25 now. Confident. Brilliant. Compassionate. She hugged her father. Then she stepped up to the microphone. Thank you. This award means everything to me. But I didn't do this alone. She looked into the audience, where Leila is sitting in the front row, tears streaming down her face. My mom taught me that the greatest gift you can give someone is the chance to live. And my dad taught me that the greatest way to honor that gift is to pass it on. Her voice breaks slightly. This technology exists because of them. Because they showed me what love looks like when it's brave enough to sacrifice. And strong enough to forgive. She raised the award. So this isn't mine. It's theirs. And it belongs to every person who has ever chosen love over fear. The applause was deafening. Cassian was openly crying. Leila is too. Later that night, the three of them sat together in the hotel room. Nova is exhausted but happy. I can't believe that just happened. Leila smiled. We can. We always knew you'd do something extraordinary. Cassian wrapped his arm around Nova. You're changing the world, sweetheart. Nova looks at both of them. Only because you changed mine first. They sat in the quiet, the three of them, a family built from impossible odds and unstoppable love. 20 years after Cassian walked into that clinic and found the family he didn't know he had, he sat on the porch of their home. Leila sat beside him. Her hair is graying now. Her hands show the years. But her eyes are still the same. Nova was inside, laughing with her own family. She married a kind, brilliant partner. They have 2 children. A boy and a girl. Cassian watched through the window as Nova picked up her daughter and spins her around. We did good. Leila smiled. Yeah. We did. He took her hand. I never thanked you. For what? For not giving up on me. For saving my life. For giving me a family. For loving me even when I didn't deserve it. Leila squeezes his hand. You deserved it. You just didn't believe it yet. He looked at her. I believe it now. Good. They sat in the quiet. The sun was setting. The air is warm. And Cassian thought about the 26-year-old man who was dying in a hospital bed. The man who thought his life was over. He thought about the nurse who saw him. Who loved him. Who gave him a second chance. He thought about the daughter he never knew existed. Who became his greatest pride. And he thought about the 20 years they have built together. Messy. Complicated. Beautiful. He would not change a single moment. Not the pain. Not the loss. Not the years apart. Because all of it led him here. To this porch. To this woman. To this family. Leila leans her head on his shoulder. What are you thinking about? He kissed the top of her head. How lucky I am. She smiled. Me too. And as the sun sets on another day, Cassian Ward finally understands what it means to be whole. Not because he built an empire. Not because he became a legend. But because he was loved by people who saw him when he had nothing. And because he finally learned to love them back the way they deserved. Some love stories are written in grand gestures. In sweeping declarations. In fairy tale endings. But the greatest love stories are written in the quiet moments. In the sacrifices no one sees. In the second chances we don't deserve but receive anyway. This is the story of a woman who gave a man her kidney and disappeared. Of a man who spent 10 years searching for her. Of a daughter who brought them back together. But more than that, it is a story about what it means to be saved. Not just from death. But from loneliness. From regret. From the belief that broken things cannot be made whole. Cassian learned that you cannot repay grace. You can only honor it. Leila learned that loving someone does not mean losing yourself. And Nova learned that family is not defined by how it begins, but by how it chooses to stay. If this story touched you, share it. Not for me, but for the person in your life who needs to know that it is never too late. That love does not have an expiration date. That second chances are real. And subscribe to Mr. Ellington Love Lines. Because every day, we tell the stories the world needs to hear. The ones where broken people become whole. Where lost families find their way home. Where love does not quit. Now go. Live like you believe in second chances. Because someone out there is waiting for you to show up. And when you do, everything changes.